Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm excited to share with you some habits and small rules that have truly transformed the way I manage my home. These simple yet effective practices have helped me create a more streamlined, peaceful, and clutter-free living space. So whether you're looking to simplify your own home or just curious about minimal living, stick around. This video is for you. First, I use this rule to decide what stays on my kitchen counters. If I use an item 5 days out of every 7, then it earns a spot on the counter. For me, this includes the coffee machine, kettle, and toaster. Anything else, I reconsider. I also keep spatulas and cutting boards there because I use them daily and need quick access. Other items can be stored in my cupboards. Since I've decluttered my cupboards, I now have plenty of space to store things, even though my kitchen isn't huge. I keep bread in a bin inside. It doesn't need to be on the counters. My blender and mixer can also go in the cupboard since I don't need them out all the time. Clearing off the counters may not seem important, but it has 2 benefits. First, it's much easier to clean because the surface is clear, making wiping it down quick and simple. You don't have to move a bunch of items out of the way before wiping it down at the end of the day or after a spill. Second, the 2-minute rule is a straightforward habit and principle that can greatly improve productivity. The idea is simple. If a task can be completed in under 2 minutes, tackle it immediately rather than putting it off. This proactive approach prevents tasks from accumulating into overwhelming burdens throughout the day. For instance, when I spot any clutter in the living room on my way to the kitchen, I promptly tidy up and discard it. Similarly, if I come across dirty dishes or cups, I make it a habit to bring them in the dishwasher as I pass by. When I receive a birthday invitation, I respond promptly and schedule it in my calendar. These small, immediate actions may seem insignificant individually, but collectively, they help maintain order and efficiency. By consistently applying the 2-minute rule, I minimize the risk of small tasks building up and disrupting my day. Third, having more workspace when I'm cooking is something I really appreciate. There's a theory in criminology called the broken window theory, introduced in 1982. This theory uses a metaphor. If you see a broken window in an abandoned building, it signals neglect, leading to more broken windows and increased antisocial behavior. Essentially, when one sign of disorder is left unaddressed, it encourages more disorder and problems. So, how does this relate to clutter? Keeping a home tidy works the same way. If a surface gets cluttered and we don't clean it up right away, it signals that it's okay to add more clutter. This results in piles of stuff accumulating. By addressing clutter immediately and keeping surfaces clean, we prevent more clutter from gathering. Remembering this theory helps because it's true. Clutter attracts more clutter. The more you have, the more you tend to accumulate in that area. 4. Getting rid of clothes and items that no longer suit my current self is a significant step towards keeping my home tidy. Occasionally, I've held on to things from the past, clothes that no longer serve a purpose, perhaps from outdated hobbies or no longer fitting into my current lifestyle. However, to create a neat and functional living space, I've learned to let go of what no longer fits me and streamline my household cleaning process. By decluttering unnecessary items, I've freed up space and made my home feel more spacious. I feel lighter and more comfortable knowing that I only keep things that are useful and align with my current lifestyle. This approach helps me maintain tidiness and fosters a comfortable and harmonious living environment in my home. 5. Simplifying how you do your laundry can really make a difference. When you declutter your clothes, it makes the whole process easier because you won't have piles of clothes waiting to be washed, folded, put away, or dried. One thing I've incorporated into my laundry routine is doing one load every day, almost without fail. It varies a bit, but it's mostly a daily habit. In the evening, we set the washing machine to start around 5 AUX a.m. and finish by 6 years or 7 WOUT a.m. Some machines can be scheduled ahead of time, so we prepare it the night before. By the time we wake up, the laundry is already done. I just need to hang it to dry. By the end of the day, it's usually dry enough to put back in the wardrobe. Following this daily laundry routine and seeing it through from start to finish is incredibly beneficial. It prevents laundry from piling up around the house. While my home isn't perfect, this routine really helps streamline daily tasks. 6. Embrace dishwashing efficiency. Soaking dishes seems like a solution, but here's the secret. It's often unnecessary and creates extra work. Here's the 1-minute habit. Wash dishes right away after use or load them directly into the dishwasher. This minimizes the need for soaking and prevents dishes from becoming caked-on messes. Skipping the soaking step saves time and water. It also keeps your sink from becoming a cluttered dish graveyard, promoting a cleaner and more hygienic kitchen environment. 7. Having a wish list is a simple but effective strategy. For example, with your child, whenever they want something at the store, but we don't intend to buy a toy that day or are just there to buy things. You know, kids always ask for things. We start this method. Top wish list solution. A friend recommended it to me. Here's how it works. We take a picture of the toy they want and save it in a folder on my phone called His Wish List. This way, he knows we won't be buying toys that day, but they still save a reminder about it on my phone. It helps reduce impulse buying and saying yes to every little thing they ask for, which can add up quickly. Of course, we still buy toys for them, but we're more deliberate about it. I've also started using this wish list system for myself. When I want to buy clothing or anything else, I add it to a wish list in the Notes app on my phone. Sometimes I take a picture in the store, other times I just write it down. This approach gives me time to think it over. I can revisit the item in a few days or weeks to decide if I still want it, avoiding impulse or emotional purchases. If I still want it later, it's likely something I'll find valuable. 8. The 1 in, 1 out rule is one of my favorite rules. This is not something I necessarily apply to every single item that I buy or every single item that comes into my home, but it's something I can incorporate for things like clothes, sometimes toys. At times, when space is limited, I find myself needing to part with older items to accommodate new ones. This approach is particularly effective for clothing. For example, if I purchase a new jacket, I consider whether I can retire an older one. Similarly, when acquiring a new jumper, I evaluate whether I still need an older one that I rarely wear. Typically, if I'm making a purchase, it's because I have a specific need that my current items aren't fulfilling. I often find items to release, which helps maintain a balanced and clutter-free home environment by ensuring that items coming in are offset by items going out. And the last, it's amazing how effective simple rules can be, like the one that says to check before you buy. If you're doing your weekly grocery shopping, take a moment to inspect your fridge and pantry. Just a quick glance inside can help you determine if you really need more pasta or if you already have plenty. I used to find myself buying packets of pasta only to discover later that I already had some sitting in my cupboard. This is how pantries end up filled with unused items that eventually go to waste. During my weekly grocery trips, I usually plan out 5 dinners for the week. Before making any purchases, I always go through my pantry and fridge to see if there are ingredients I can use. For example, are there beans that could be part of a meal next week? Or perhaps there are sausages that haven't been used this week but could be used early next week. This approach allows me to make the most of what I already have, preventing unnecessary accumulation in my kitchen. Not only does this reduce waste, but it also helps me save money by making use of items I've already purchased. Simplifying your home may be easier than you think. It is these small daily habits that can bring about significant change. I hope you find these tips helpful, and I'm excited to share more details with you in my upcoming posts. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Thanks again for your support. See you in the next video soon. Take care.